Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Joe Brzezinski. I'm chair of the VTA Board of Directors. And I brought Congressman Honda to be my cheerleader today at this event. I'm also a member of the Los Gatos Town Council, former mayor in Los Gatos. And I want to thank you all for joining us today for this one-year milestone celebration and ribbon cutting for the Kato Road grade separation project. To begin, I would like to acknowledge many of the special guests we have with us today, and I would like those guests to stand and be acknowledged as we read their names. Mayor Jose Esteves, Mayor of Milpitas, and a board member. Ash Kalra, Councilman from the City of San Jose and a Vice Chair of the Board of Directors. Councilman Kansan Chu from San Jose. Vice Mayor of Fremont, Anu Natarajan. Fremont City Council Member Raj Salwan. From the Office of Supervisor Scott Haggerty, Don P. Argola, Chief of Staff and Operations. From the Silicon Valley Leadership Group, Senior Director of Transportation Policy, Jessica Zank. Ali Ramazanida, she's the staff member for Zoe Lofton's Office of the Congress. Is she here? Anna Coe, Senior Field Representative for Assemblyman Rich Gordon. Diego Berrigan, Policy Analyst for the Office of Councilmember Xavier Campos. Joseph Sanchez, Policy Analyst in the Communications Office for Xavier Campos as well. And then there are members in the audience representing our Citizens Advisory Boards. Will they stand, please? Okay, there we go. All right. A year ago, VTA and BART broke ground on the Berryessa Extension Project, stretching 10 miles from the future South Fremont Warm Springs BART station to the Berryessa neighborhood of San Jose. The Kato Road project in Fremont is the first of 11 grade separations needed to complete the 10-mile BART to Silicon Valley extension. The list of Berryessa Extension project accomplishments include demolition and site preparation at both stations in Milpitas and San Jose, completion of the Upper Penitencia Creek Restoration Project in San Jose, completion of the BART Bridge over the Kato Road and all but the finishing touches on the Kato Road Trench, relocation of major utilities along the corridor, and the start of station roadway and elevated track structure work at the Berryessa station site. The extension will bring commuters to and from Silicon Valley with convenient connections to VTA bus and light rail that serve major employers throughout the region. Once trains begin traveling between Fremont and San Jose, the infrastructure improvements will benefit the community and the region by expanding mobility and reducing the significant traffic congestion on Interstates 880 and 680. The Kato Road grade separation is a key component of the Berryessa Extension project. On Saturday, Kato Road reopened, allowing residents and those who work in this area to experience a safer way to travel. On behalf of BART and VTA, I would like to thank all of you who are in this neighborhood and thank you for your patience and cooperation during this first 12 months of construction. The progress of the Berryessa Extension project is very evident between here and Berryessa Station. Some of you today have taken the tour to see the progress and see for yourself what has been happening to bring BART to Santa Clara County. The milestone we are celebrating today is reflective of the partnership and collaboration of many agencies, with FTA, with neighboring cities, with MTC and CTC, with our voters, and with state and congressional leaders. Now I would like to introduce several honored individuals whose efforts or the organization they represent is making today's milestone celebration possible. First, United States Congressman Mike Honda. Mike Honda began representing the 17th Congressional District of California in Congress this year. From 2001 to the beginning of this year, he represented the 15th Congressional District, my district, and as a former member of the House Transportation Committee and current member of both the House Appropriations Committee and House Budget Committee, Congressman Honda has been a tireless leader in the efforts to improve transportation and infrastructure and mobility in California, as well as bring BART to Santa Clara County. Now, a little known fact. Mike and I were students together in our graduate program at San Jose State in the mid-70s. And that was when I first was introduced to Mike's political ambitions. He was elected by the student body to be ombudsman for graduate students to the administration. And he has worked tirelessly since that time for the underdog. I would like to introduce to you my friend and Congressman, Mike Honda.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. He mentioned the ombudsman person. We created a new verb. It was called ombuddling, to speak on behalf of others. Well, good morning, and it's really great to be here in South Fremont. And Mr. Mayor, you have a great city, and your city council is doing a great job, and it's a growing, vibrant, diverse community. And without embarrassing anybody, could I just make one change? Part of policymaking is being a change agent. And we all knew about the Green Hornet, and his sidekick was, what? Kato. Okay, now, we have this street here. Now, I'm going to just, it's not to embarrass anybody, but to just say that the name is really Kato. Okay? Kato. It's like George Takei from the Spaceship Enterprise. People call him George Takai. Well, Takai means high, too high. Takei is another name. So, just a point of personal privilege to straighten out this. If I didn't say this, my father would hit me upside the head. So, Mayor Harrison, thank you, and City Council for hosting us, and want to thank Administrator Carranza for being here. To the construction workers and all the elected officials and advocates and community leaders and VTA board and staff, and most importantly, the voters of this area who had said, we're going to dig into our pockets and fund something we really want. And I have to tell you that that really made possible the full funding grant agreement with the federal government that converted this project from a regional interest to a national interest. The groundbreaking that was mentioned we had a year ago only happened because the residents and citizens voted twice to invest their own tax dollars into the project, and this gave us the leverage. This gave me on the committee the leverage to be able to speak with Secretary LaHood, and he's really an open-minded guy. He's a great secretary. It gave us the leverage to convince him that the way we're financing these things should be the national model, and it's going to soon be the national model the way we do things here. So it helped us get that full funding agreement, and with President Obama, and then really allow us to make sure that we secured $900 million into the future. So we got to make sure that every penny that we raise is going to be well spent, because every penny is going to deliver jobs, security, and then eventually a system that's going to move people in a very efficient way, and it will help us with the environment. It's going to help the economy here. It's going to create a lot of jobs. In 1959, I think 880 was built. And I was in high school in San Jose. We were going to come to Washington High School to play football. And my buddy says, we're going to take 880. No, Highway 17 at the time. And I says, what's that? He says, oh, it allows us to get to Washington High School quick instead of going through Old Oakland Highway. And it really did move us quickly. So it moved us quickly back in the late 50s. but this is going to move a lot of people in a very quick way and environmentally safe way too. So we're really maturing as a society. And on top of all that, you know, we're all concerned about jobs. So every year that we get the funding, it'll create about 3,300 jobs. Every year we get the funding. Right now we're faced with sequestration. We've applied for $150 million. Possibly with all that things that are going on in Congress, we may get about 130. But it's gonna, the way BART and VTA and everybody's working with their financing, they're gonna be able to move this project in a very efficient way. And I think that it's gonna be on budget and under time too. So I have to really thank the full team here, and they're really a shining example of working together, collaboration, but it's always in the name of making that dollar go where it's supposed to go, the way the voters had voted for it. So the residents of this area, you really have to know that your political leadership and the folks that are working on this project is really mindful of the investment that you made, and very, very mindful of how to make that dollar work, creating jobs and then also fulfilling the objectives that you laid out for them. So I just want to say, good job, and let's move on to the next stage.
Thank you, Congressman Honda. Our next speaker is California State Assemblyman Bob Wowski. Assemblyman Wowski represents the 25th Assembly District in the state legislature. His district stretches from southern Alameda County to Santa Clara County. He is re-elected in November and serves as chair of the Assembly Judiciary Committee. He is also a member of the Assembly Insurance, Health, and Public Employees, Retirement, and Social Service Committees. Assemblyman Wowski is a passionate advocate for his district, and he once served as vice mayor right here in Fremont. Assemblyman Wowski.
My former colleague in the City Council, Vice Mayor New Natarajan, reminded me it's all boys up here today. So maybe when we have the groundbreaking in Milpitas that we'll have boys and girls up here. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this wonderful day that we're having in Fremont. You know, when you're in politics, it's a strange thing. How we can be happy and giddy about a grade separation. We were driving on the bus and I'm looking and I'm saying, wow, how neat this is. You know, the BART trains and the railroad trains are going to go over and it's going to go underneath, and we all get together for this wonderful one-year anniversary and talk about, think about the vision that we have of linking Alameda County with Santa Clara County. And again, it's a milestone, but it's, I don't know how I got happy over it. There's two things that are important. One, that from now on, we'll all refer to this as the Kato Road grade separation, you know, correcting our, you know, the historic ties. I mean, the Japanese and the Portuguese and the Spanish are the early settlers of this area. Many of the Japanese families that were here, the Kato family included, we might as well get it right when we talk about the grade separation. But we have, as we all know, local agencies together with the state of California and the federal government have been working on these important rail safety projects like this grade separation. There? Is it there or is it there? There, right in back of me, right? And it's wonderful to report that we're, you know, the design build with the extension is going to be ahead of time and on budget. That's one of those nice things that politicians like to say, is that it's not, we're over budget, we don't know when we're going to end, we're actually on time, we're ahead of schedule, and we're on below the budget line. But we should applaud both the counties of Alameda and the counties of Santa Clara that have a proven history of electing to tax themselves to build the capital transportation projects. And when I'm up in Sacramento with my friend Jim Bell, and before him Congressmember Honda, we do get to brag about the area that we represent. And just last Wednesday, I was or this Wednesday, 2 days ago, I was before the local government commission or committee, once again asking for authorization so that Alameda County and Contra Costa County can put the B3 measure back on the ballot to once again ask the people here to tax them to hopefully complete the $8 billion in transportation projects that are needed here in southern and the rest of Alameda County. The work here at Kato Road is, as we've heard, is one of 11 grade separations, and we're smiling as we only have 10 more of these little anniversaries to go to. And it's the overall Silicon Valley extension. But it is a big deal. It's created a constant flow of work and provided vital jobs for the construction and engineering trades here at home. Now that we've completed the separation, Fremont can be very proud of a major safety enhancement as it benefits the local businesses, the commuters. When I'm at Club Sport, I swam this morning my 2,000 yards, and I don't have to listen to people complain about Kato Road anymore. Now it's just Warren Avenue. We're dealing with the Warren Avenue. It's another year. But with a strong transportation infrastructure, we can build a stronger community here in Fremont, in Milpitas, and in San Jose, and really provide stimulus for the local economic communities in the state at large. BART Silicon Valley, when completed in 2017, will enhance the connection between our counties and provide a viable option for commuters and transit-dependent citizens. This project is also going to aid in reducing the regional congestion along the 680 and 880 corridors. It's wonderful to be here at midday. There's nobody on 880 and nobody on 680. We all know in 5 hours or 4.5 hours it's going to be plugged, and we can just sit a few hundred yards away from here and watch the people line up on Mission Boulevard. So those workers in both counties will have their lives improve with the completion. I'm a former planning commissioner in Fremont, city council member, now the assembly member. I've already expressed to you how giddy I am about this grade separation project, but it's exciting for me to see the progress. I congratulate the VTA, the city of Fremont, and all the project participants for this wonderful day. Congratulations.
Thank you, Assemblyman Wowski. I'm sure everyone who lived on Kato Road is going to be very happy to hear this afternoon that they now live on Kato Road. And they owe it all to this gentleman over here, okay? So, so with that, we're going to give you then California State Senator Jim Bell. Jim has been just 1 second, Jim. Jim has been part of the Silicon Valley political landscape for more than 3 decades. Currently serving as State Senator of California's 15th Senate District, my district, Senator Bell brings a lifetime of experience and understanding in government efficiency, transportation, and human services to the State Senate. In his years in public service, Senator Bell has served as a San Jose City Councilman, a Santa Clara County Supervisor, and as a State Assembly member. And what you probably don't know is that he got his start, his first real job, was in the planning department of my town of Los Gatos. Okay? Some would say his only real job. With that, I bring you Senator Jim Bell.
Well, it was kind of hard working in Los Gatos. But you know, my dad graduated from Los Gatos High School in 1941 and then went to San Jose State. Remember that? Everybody knows my dad. And I'm real pleased to be here. You know, it's really nice to start the year 2013 with 2 more votes, one for Alameda County and one for Santa Clara County on the Metropolitan Transportation Commission. So we can get more money for this project, right? So I'm really pleased to see my legislation, AB 57, go into law this January 1, have the mayors appoint additional representatives for our area. And, you know, we need a little balance in the funding, you know. We got to kind of come on this side of the bay, you know. You know, maybe some over here. That's what we're all about, right? So let's move forward. And this took decades of fighting for the money to get to where we are today. And I remember with Tom Blaylock sitting on the BART advisory committee. And Tom fought like crazy to get the funds. So I wanted to acknowledge Tom. Having been on, he told me he started working for the city of Fremont in 1960. So what this means, folks, if you count it, over 50 years of service to the city of Fremont. Isn't that something? I don't know if you can say that about anything, Mr. Mayor. That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. 50 years. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, Tom. You know, it's kind of a you know, very unusual. So we're doing concrete today, and we got to give credit to the VTA and the contractors and everybody for keeping the project ahead of schedule. You know, so we can continue to argue that we need more money to complete the route down to San Jose and to the San Jose airport. And that's the next fight that we're going to have, is to get the funds to go all the way to San Jose. And it's also important from the standpoint is now we're talking about 16,000 tons of greenhouse gases eliminated in 1 year if this project is implemented. And a lot of voters really want to see more tons eliminated, so we need more of the transit projects in the state of California. It's been my life to work on these transit projects. As you said, Joe, I was an urban planner. I went to San Jose State, studied urban planning, got on the San Jose Planning Commission, City Council, Board of Supervisors, Assembly, and now State Senator. I hope to be here for another 8 years. From a regional perspective, we need to ring around the bay, don't we? That's kind of our vision. If we can get a clean transportation all the way around the bay, I'm all for that. So I'm committed to the BART project and BART, and I'm happy to see the trains are going to be rolling. And I want you to know that right now in the Senate, I have a new role, and I'm the chair of the Senate Budget Committee on Transportation. So right now, I'm looking for money to fund all these projects. And we will find the money, and we will complete these projects. And we have a great record to show people, and we have great projects to promote. And with all my collaborative colleagues, we'll make sure we'll get the funding for the rest of the project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Jim Bell. Fremont Mayor Bill Harrison was elected mayor of Alameda County's second largest city in November. Mayor Harrison has served on the Fremont City Council since 2006, but he has been part of the city government since 2001, when he was appointed to the Fremont Planning Commission. He's a former member of the Alameda County Assessment Appeals Board and treasurer of the Fremont Chamber of Commerce Dollars for Scholars program. Mayor Harrison was born and raised right here in Fremont, and he is a very proud native of his city. Welcome, Mayor Harrison.
And to your pronunciation, Congressman, we have 3 of us here today, so we could do something about this. We could pass a resolution to make the formal pronunciation, if you will, Kato Road. About a year ago, some descendants of the Blakeow family went into the planning department to do some permitting work, and the person kept saying Blakeow, 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 and the guy was kind of cringing. He says, you know, you're mispronouncing my family's name. So for years, we've been mispronouncing lots of roads here in Fremont, but there's one pronunciation we get right all the time, and that's BART. And we're real excited about BART as it comes through. It's easy, it's simple, we like that. We have several members of our management team here together, but I do also want to take a special time to acknowledge 2 of my colleagues that have been introduced, Vice Mayor Anu Natarajan and Councilmember Raj Salwan, because in Fremont it is totally a team effort how we get things done, especially when it comes to big regional projects like this in transportation. a friend of mine was asking me how I like being mayor, and I said it's great. You know, I get to go to Little League events and throw out first pitches and meet with companies that are trying to locate into Fremont and working with them. And she asked me what events I had coming up, and I explained to her this event. And she kind of like what Assemblyman Wowski said. She said, a grade separation. That kind of sounds boring. I said, no, she tried to explain it, and I'm not an engineer, I'm not a planner, and I was doing all this and that. And I said, well, it's either a reverse bridge or a bridge. And she goes, well, it still sounds boring to me. And I said, well, for a politician, someone trying to make improvements in their community, it's everything rolled up into one. It's public safety. It's getting people away from trains and getting people off the roads. It's economic commerce, because you don't know how many major critical people are around here delivering trucks, as we heard that going on. This is helping our economic commerce. It's quality of life. When Senator Bill was speaking, did we hear the trains blowing and the horns? That's a little special project for us in Fremont, and that will be eliminating that. These grade separation projects will allow for everything to roll up into one to serve all those projects, so we're real excited about that. We have I know we started a tour of the other grade separations coming down, but we in Fremont, thanks to Mr. Pearson and Mr. Hughes, we have an award-winning grade separation project. So we think we've set the bar pretty high with the Washington Boulevard and Paseo Padre, and continuing now to Kato. We have 2 more coming up as we will look forward to that. And I was kind of doing the math, and we were here a year ago, and we did the groundbreaking, and now we're doing the ribbon cutting. We got our station we're going to break ground on, then we'll have the opening, and 2 more that will do the groundbreaking and have the opening, and then 11. We're going to have a lot of parties, I think, coming forward, so I think we should make this kind of a reoccurring thing. Once a month we get together to do something to bring BART from Alameda County into Santa Clara County, and that's what this is all about. Fremont's very excited to be part of that as we continue our role in Silicon Valley and putting the economy back to work. So thank you, everyone. We look forward to being part of the team going forward.
The way the mayor describes it, we might as well just stay here.
I hope we bought the tent and get rented.
BART Board Director Tom Blaylock first joined BART Board of Directors in 1994 and has served 2 terms as president of the board. Director Blaylock is also a member of the Alameda County Transportation Commission, a member of the Alameda County, a member of the Capital Corridor Joint Powers Authority Board of Directors, commissioner on the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission, that's ACE, a member of both the San Joaquin Rail Committee and the San Joaquin Policy Advisory Committee. And this last Policy Advisory Committee is for Dumbarton Rail. Director Blaylock has been dedicated to expanding BART's service from Fremont to Santa Clara for decades, and it's amazing that it has taken decades, but we're getting close. I'd like to introduce Director Blaylock.
Yes, I'm Tom Blaylock. I'm the BART director from Fremont. And it's been a great ride for me because, as Jim Bell mentioned, I came to Fremont in October of 1960. Actually, I came to work the day that GM announced it was going to break ground. So that's been a fun ride, and getting rid of grade separations around town has been a major drive of mine because of the carnage that happens if you don't. And so we whittled down a whole lot of them, and this is another one to be rid of. And I'm sure that George Kato would be pleased to have his name associated with this grade separation. You know, our Warm Springs South Fremont Station is on the route from Fremont Station to Berryessa. You can't get to one without the other. And our project at for the Warm Springs line is coming along famously. The tunnel is done. Some of you came to the ribbon cutting and celebration we had last October. And the second contractor is well underway, moving forward. And we worked that project out so that the line either goes under the lake or it's at grade through town which is best for operations, it's quietest, safest, and so on. Well, with building all that, we have a major job on our hands at BART now to try to make sure that our system is robust enough to take care of the Warm Springs extension and the Berryessa extension on into the future and on around to Santa Clara. We have to do a couple of things to do that. One, we've got to upgrade a lot of our stations and get them up to a state of good repair. We've contracted to buy 410 new cars at a little over $2.2 million per car. If we bought them one at a time, it'd be over 3, folks. So we saved a lot of money by a bulk contract. We're going to try to increase that contract, not to its original limit of 700,000+. We're going to try to get to 700 cars. We're going to try to get to 1,000 cars so that we're robust enough to go on well into the middle part of this century. Cars only last 30 to 40 years usually. And then you've got to check them out and make sure they're safe. So that's a big piece of our effort at BART right now. Our second big one is to find a way to fund a new train control system so that we can reach everything and get more trains on the system at the same time. Right now, I think what you hear on the news is 52 trains all on time, right? The third big thing we have to do is increase the size and capability of our maintenance yard at Hayward. And VTA is funding a piece of that work in lieu of building a yard somewhere down near Berryessa that would have been bypassed when they went around to Santa Clara where the main yard will be. So we're very proud to be a part of this celebration today. We look forward to increasing our fleet to back up the system that we've all created together. And that new train control and the maintenance center, we're going to try to get that done so that we can make sure that BART gets to San Jose and is able to keep serving. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Blaylock. And I think there's no question that Director Blaylock has been a key mover in making this project come to fruition. The partnership between BART and VTA has been extraordinary, and this gentleman has been the major component of that as far as I'm concerned. And that leads us then to our other partner, FTA. FTA Deputy Regional Administrator Edward Carranza joined the FTA in 1996 as Regional 9 Director, Office of Program Management and Oversight. In 2005, Deputy Carranza was selected to fulfill the roles and responsibilities of Deputy Regional Administrator for FTA. Will someone get that? The Deputy Regional, I hope it's money. Yeah. And the responsibilities of Deputy Regional Administrator for FTA in Region 9, San Francisco. He is responsible for the activities of all operations in the Region 9 office, and when appointed, or acts on behalf of the Regional Administrator. I give you Deputy Carranza.
Thank you, Joe, and good afternoon. On behalf of Secretary Ray LaHood, FTA Administrator Peter Rogoff, and FTA Deputy Administrator that many of you locally know, Therese McMillan, as well as FTA Region 9 Administrator out of San Francisco, my boss, Leslie Rogers. I'm very pleased and honored to be here at this joyous event. This is the type of project, the Kato Road Grade Separation Project, that we like to see get done successfully. I mean, this was one project, part of the project, it's 2 bridges, one for the railroad and one for BART. And our project involved the one for BART. And it was just so happened that the bridge for BART was going to be built later. And it made no sense, to the credit to Michael Burns and the VTA staff, to go ahead and say, hey, FTA, can we go ahead and build the BART bridge? Even though we don't have construction authority, can I go ahead and do it now so that for the city of Fremont and the mayor and all the drivers and the pedestrians, they get the tooth pulled once. That makes common sense. And so Michael and staff brought up things like, this will contain cost. We like that kind of stuff. Cost containment, you know? The market was bidding good. They got good proposals. Schedule-wise, they would get it done, get it in, and get out, and have everything done for the grade separation to go ahead and support and not impact, or at least minimize the impact of the design-build contractor that's going to build the rest of the project. And also, it would provide safety. I mean, that's one of the administration's biggest messages here and initiatives is safety. You have a grade separation, keeps cars from hitting trains and people from getting run over. So therefore, we had no other choice than to look to ourselves as FTA and say, let's take this request and instead say, why? Why not say, why not? And that's what we did. So I really do like and appreciate the effort that the VTA staff did and all the supporters. And let me tell you another thing, one final thought that comes to mind. We've heard here presentations of the city of Fremont, of the state. You have the state, the city. But let me tell you one thing that you really do have as well is a champion on the Hill, Congressman Honda. And I tell you, when it wouldn't happen. You wouldn't have the $900 million in this contract to do this project without support of him and his constituents on the Hill. So I want to say thank you. Keep up the good work, VTA, and look forward to the ribbon cutting. Thank you.
Now this brings us to our last speaker. And I'm really pleased to be able to welcome Michael T. Burns, General Manager of the Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority, to the podium. VTA is the agency which has led the effort to bring BART to Silicon Valley. And Michael will conclude today's program and lead us to the Kato road grade separation and BART bridge structure for its official ribbon cutting. When I first was board chair in 2005, we were changing general managers, and we were able to hire Michael. And now as chair in 2013, I am so pleased to be here and see the outcome of his lengthy experience as general manager with the VTA. Without a doubt, he's an extraordinary man, extraordinary director, and we are so pleased to have him in our valley, and he is a prime mover in bringing BART to Silicon Valley. Michael.
Thank you very much, Chair Brzezinski. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out today, whether you've worked on the project, you're affiliated with the project, whether you live in the area or work in the area. We really appreciate you coming out and all of the dignitaries as well. I too, though, do need to single out Congressman Honda for his work at the federal level in securing the full funding grant agreement. $900 million, as Mr. Carranza pointed out, would not have been possible, and sincerely would not have been possible without the leadership and the constant diligence and effort of Congressman Honda. And on behalf of everybody in this valley, we thank you for that. So we see that much has changed over the past years. We've been relocating utilities, station area sites have been procured and buildings have been demolished, and the site preparation work is proceeding. We're building structures and bridges. We have this exciting Kato grade crossing completion celebration today. And I do want to congratulate our design builder, the Skanska-Shimmick-Herzog joint venture, led by Gary Winsper, for their accomplishments. And over the next year, you're going to see the level of effort expand significantly on this project to where there'll be construction on virtually every aspect of of the project. When the Berryessa extension opens, we project that there'll be 23,000 daily riders, growing to 46,000 by 2035. We'll also have a multiplying effect on all of VTA's services, light rail, bus services, and making those more attractive for folks who are traveling within the valley. BART not only greatly improves our public transportation choices, it also expands our economy, creates more jobs, and you've heard a lot about that today, and most significantly improves our environment. While we're still in phase one, and that's what we're celebrating today after 1 year, we are continuing to work on the next phase of bringing BART to downtown San Jose. And we will be at the next VTA board meeting with a recommendation for a contract to update all of the environmental work for phase two. And we're working with our partners and with the federal government and all of our other partners to secure a construction plan and a funding plan that can deliver that project in the most expeditious way. As has been mentioned, but I really do need to mention on behalf of everybody that's involved with this project, this is a multifaceted effort between numerous governmental agencies and jurisdictions to coordinate construction activities, provide funding, and participate on delivering the project. Our partners include the cities of Milpitas, San Jose, Fremont, the counties of Santa Clara and Alameda, Santa Clara Valley Water District, Alameda County Water District, Alameda County Transportation Commission, FTA, Caltrans, FHWA, California Transportation Commission, Metropolitan Transportation Commission, and of course our partner not only in constructing the project, but who will operate the project once we're completed, and that is BART. I would like to congratulate all the firms who have been part of this endeavor and will continue to be involved in it. In particular, I'd like to thank the sponsors of this event and recognize some of the individuals from each of the firms. I'll just read them all and then we can recognize them when I'm finished. Skanska Shimmick Herzog, led by Gary Winsper. Our contractor on the Kato Road grade separation, Gordon N. Ball, represented by President Hal Stober and Vice President Jeff Jones. HMM Bechtel, represented by Lee Abramson. Kimley Horn & Associates, represented by George Fairs. And HNTB, represented by Darlene G., the Northern California Regional Leader. Thank you all for your support, and how about a round of applause for everybody who's been involved in this project. And just finally, on behalf of all of us who have been working on the project, especially here at Kato Road, but also throughout the corridor, we want to thank the community, we want to thank the residents, we want to thank the businesses for your patience and understanding as we work in your backyards to bring this important transportation improvement to the Bay Area. And we have outreach staff from the contractors, VTA, the cities, all working together to try to deal with any issue that arises. And we really, really, truly appreciate your patience and understanding as we work to deliver this project. Thank you.